almost got it. I'll keep reaching for it. What are you doing? Chill!
Welcome back to Talking Serpents. So you want to know how to care for a false water cobra? Well, I've definitely been doing it for, you're about 2 years old. So I've been caring for this false water cobra for 2 years old, and I've definitely had good success. I did a lot of research before I got him to make sure that I was doing the best as I could. And it's been a great experience, so now I will take the knowledge that I've learned in the past 2 years and I'll pass it to you. So there's not very many care sheets and proper information. You kind of gotta like search here and there for each one, so hopefully I can answer all the questions, and if not, there's a comment section, so if you have any questions, do comment down below. I think the most important thing is, how much space do these snakes need? And the answer is a lot, despite the size, and you're like, okay, it's not that big of a snake, but this snake has a lot of energy. Of all the snake species I've ever dealt with and cared for, this one has the most energy. At least 3 times as much energy as the one that I have that moves like the most, which would be my reticulated python. Many times over that. So they need more space. This snake is diurnal, and if you don't know what diurnal means, it means that they're awake during the day and they sleep at night, just like humans. Most humans anyways. So his enclosure currently is just about 5 feet wide, 18 inches deep, and 18 inches tall. And I already said he's about 2 years old, and this is, I definitely don't think this is enough space for him. About 6 months ago, I built this little, we're gonna call it a snake loft. It's got a little lip on here to keep all the bedding and everything. It's hard to get the camera in there. But yeah, he goes up there and slithers up and then comes down and moves around. And I'm always in here working on my computer, editing videos and doing other types of things on the computer. And this snake is moving all the time, like especially during the day. He's just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's not that I'm just able to witness like how much he's moving just because I'm also awake, because I'm also in here at night and I get to see how much the other snakes move. This snake moves an insane amount more. So my plan is to, very soon here, I will be building an enclosure 8 feet wide, so as long as this enclosure is, and it won't have this lip on here anymore. It's gonna come all the way out instead of 18 inches. It's gonna be 24 inches deep and 18 inches high or 16 inches high, because they don't really climb too much. They're not very good at climbing. So yeah, I haven't calculated how many square inches it's gonna be, but it'll probably almost double the amount of space, and they definitely need it. Okay, so this false water cobra, also known as the Brazilian smooth snake. They are a colubrid. They come from South America, around the Brazil area. Their Brazilian smooth snake is they're very, very smooth. False water cobra. False because they try to act like a cobra. They can hood up. I'm not gonna get him to do that right now. Usually does that on his own terms, usually when he gets spooked or if he's really excited during feeding. And then sometimes you can actually massage the outer muscles and he'll kind of like spread his hood out. All right, one very important thing is this snake, their heating is very important. They don't do well in high heat. It's extremely important that you keep them between a very strict parameter of heat. I always shoot for 80 degrees Fahrenheit, so I have my thermometers in the front of my enclosures like I always do, so I'm always observant of what their heat is. So I would always be between, ideal would be 80 degrees Fahrenheit to 82. Anything over like 83 degrees, I start stressing, and I would definitely like figure out ways of like cooling down the enclosure, if that ever happened to say. And then nothing under 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And then as far as their humidity, I always keep that between, I would say, 50 and 70. They don't want their humidity super high. Another very important thing is you need to have a water bowl, and then once again, need, not want. You need to have a water bowl that is going to be big enough for your snake to soak in. This snake, it literally spends half of its time in the water bowl. Not because I don't have enough humidity in here, because my humidity is always perfect in here, but because they love the water that much. Hence, false water cobra. That's another thing that also creates humidity in here, is you can see, well, maybe you can't see, there's a little bit of moisture on this bedding right here. He'll come in and out of the water bowl maybe like 5 or so times during a single hour. Just kind of slithering around, and he'll get in the water bowl, and then he'll hang out in there for a while, then he'll get back out, and they'll move around, then he'll... Alright, next we'll talk about feeding. Very important, since these snakes are amazing feeders. They will eat mice, they'll eat rats, they will eat small birds, they will eat small reptiles like snakes and small lizards and specific fish. Very diverse feeders for sure. And then as far as after being diverse, they're also very fierce feeders. I've been told before I got this snake, that this snake definitely has the most intense feeding response, and of all the snakes that I've ever seen, all the ones that I've ever fed myself, this one has the most insane feeding response ever. I'll insert a couple clips, pause it, and you can watch like a few, and you can tell me what you think. Oh yeah. Well, he looks ready. Dun 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 dun. Ooh, ooh. There you go. It's right here, it's not over there. Okay, good for you. It is also very important that you don't feed a false water cobra a large meal. Well, how often do I feed my false water cobra? When he was a baby, I fed him every 5 days, and then I would feed him every 7 days, and then every 10 days. And I would feed him, I would always start off by feeding him one prey item. What was I feeding him? Like fuzzies? Yeah, I was feeding him fuzzies when he was a little baby. And then I would feed him 2 fuzzies, and then at that point I'm pretty sure I was feeding him like a mouse, and then 2 small mice, and then 3 small mice. And then when he seemed like he was finally big enough to accept a larger prey item, I would feed him like, jumbo mice, like 2 jumbo mice, and then 3 jumbo mice, and then, or however it was, I'm not exactly sure, I'd have to look at my feeding calendar. And then as of now, I'm feeding him 3 small rats. They're not really like, they're on the smaller end of small rats. And he's very slender snake. He's definitely not obese at all, since I did say that these snakes are definitely not like any other snake that I've ever dealt with, because they have such a fast metabolism, and you'll know when this snake's hungry. It will be a little bit more twitchy, and the longer you wait to feed the snake, it will become immensely more crazy while you feed him, because he's gonna look like he's never had a meal in his entire life, and he'll chase you right out of the enclosure. He's done it to me dozens of times. Alright, another very important thing is this snake has a very fast metabolism, and what I mean by this is the snake eats and he digests it really fast, and it's gonna come out the opposite end. So this snake is gonna dump a lot It is whatever all my other snakes do, it does it 3 times as much, at least. It's a little annoying, to be honest. I mean, it's annoying. I pretty much go in here every morning and in the afternoon and make sure that if he has taken a dump, that I gotta clean it up. All right, so I did say this is a colubrid. This colubrid is semi-venomous, and I always get messages on like Instagram and stuff about, have you ever been bit? I've never been bit on the skin of the salmon. I have been bit on the glove dozens of times because he's a really erratic feeder. I'm sure you saw what I mean by those clips I put up, and he has bitten the glove many times. So I do like to wear those gloves. Me and my wife have both tried to research their venom. There's next to like nothing about their venom. I've never been able to find very much about it. Like almost like nothing like I can even really talk about too much. So they are a rear-fanged venomous species. Their fangs, I'm not gonna show you. They're very tiny and they're flexible. They're really, really small. They're like right behind the eyes. I'm not gonna be able to show you, but they're right behind the eyes. So let's say if like he tagged you, even with an open mouth, he tagged you, there's very, very low chance you're actually gonna be, you know, getting venomated. Most of the time, they literally have to like bite you and then kind of gnaw and like try to get their fangs like into you, and most of the time snakes don't try to do that anyways, like especially if you're a human, they're just trying to deter you away from them anyways. So what happens when you get bit by this snake, or like you actually get envenomated? Some people, just like these things, some people don't have reaction at all, and then there are some people that I've seen reported of itching, swelling, nausea, vomiting, what are some other ones? Like the whole affected area being like painful for a day, up to a month. There's one person said temporary blindness, but that was never recorded at like a doctor's office or anything like that. So it's pretty much just like word of mouth. So pretty much, in my eyes, it means it's useless. All right, next is how to handle false water trouble. It's kind of just like anything else. If you're not comfortable, you can use a snake hook. I see a lot of people use snake hooks because they're a bit weary of their, since they're semi-venomous. So I don't have a problem with that. So I just go in there and pick them up. But if you do need a snake hook, links in the description. You can check it out on my website, talkingserpents.com. And you check that out. So I just pick them up like I normally do. I definitely have a really good bond with this snake. I mean, I can honestly sit there with him and he'd be like a little lap dog. And he seems to really enjoy me petting his head. He's real calm. Very trustworthy. Alright, and like I said, they have a fast metabolism and they dump a lot. So today is clean day. Let the bikini. Oh. What's the problem today? Too much coffee. Alright, let the cleaning begin. Alright, all clean. I decided to change up the scenery just a little bit. I mean, this is just going to be for now until I build the next enclosure for him. But for now, I'm sure he'll be real stoked. Let's go get him. And he's usually weird because if we're overhead, sometimes he gets a little, oh, you dumped in there? Really? You're getting a bath. To the bath. to play. Okay, there you go. It's like, this doesn't smell familiar. Looks familiar now. I wonder if he'll burrow like a little tremor again. Oh man, we forgot his favorite thing in the world. Water. There you go, sir. Have some water. Thank you. There he goes. Oh, hi. You enjoying the new bedding? Oh, see you later. There. Let me help you out. You just get down there. There you go. There you go. You're covered now. He's like, no! Only I'm in charge of that. So I'm super excited to announce that I now have my own website. If you're interested, it's called talkingserpents.com. There was definitely a learning curve since this was our first time building a website.
So on the website we have the 2 different hooks that we sell, as well as all the grip color variations, and then we had got the custom price quote.
So if you want a really custom enclosure, which I get quite often, you can come on here and I have an option that Stephanie created. So customize your own reptile enclosure.
And we also have a link called Reptile Enclosures. This page mainly just gets your ideas going about what kind of look you want to go for, different stain looks, different tile looks, how big you could go. Each one has a little description of like what went into this and how much it costed for that customer. So it just kind of gives you an idea of what kind of prices it's gonna be and what you want to do. And then we go into the customize your own enclosure. This talks about mainly the differences between birch and melamine and what kind of route you want to go. So after you choose that, you end up going, you got your birch enclosure tab here and melamine. Both kind of do the same thing, just talk about how customizable you can go with each. Obviously birch you can go way more customizable because you can stain it or paint it. So it just talks about the different stain colors we option and paint, the different tiles you can do, or if you just want to do solid white on the inside. And then yeah, you just pay for the price quote and you contact Kyle and he'll give you a price quote. But a lot of changes still to be made here, and we're still going to add a lot of stuff here. But this is where we're going to start.
So yeah, if you're interested, go check out talkingserpents.com. And yeah, just let me know what you think. It's my first website, so there's definitely going to be, like she said, there's going to be some changes. And I'm very excited. Alright, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, strike that like button. If you have any comments, because I'm sure you're going to have questions, maybe, anyways, post in the comment section below. Please do subscribe and have a nice day. And you have yourself a nice day as well, Bandit. You seem to always love head rubs. It's always so calm when I do it. Such a smooth snake.